Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Master Cloud and I am back with another cast of The Lord of the Rings, Battle for Middle-earth 2, The Rise of the Witch King. Today's matchup is going to be a 4 versus 4 on the map NANDU for short. And it is going to be a 1K start game, so it is not going to be a 4K game as we do occasionally see on these larger maps, especially with many players. It is just going to be a standard start 1K game, so a little bit of an interesting matchup here, and go ahead and get into the game here. Now you may be saying to yourself, Master Cloud, you just put out a game, why are you already putting out another game as it has not been a month yet or 3 weeks? Well, the answer to that is because you guys are amazing and went ahead and commented on my friend's video like I requested in my last cast, and you guys did such a good job that I immediately wanted to race home actually, and cast another game for you guys because you know what, you guys held up your end of the bargain, so I wanted to hold up my end. So we are going to have this cast as well as potentially some more soon. This weekend is going to be a long one with Memorial Day weekend coming up, so I will have 3 days to potentially cast and get you guys out some really great games. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and introduce our players. Spawning in the top left-hand side is going to be Tun. He is spawning as the goblins here. His ally just to his south in the left center of the map, or the left center portion, I guess, is going to be Dr. Penguin. Dr. Penguin spawning as men. I do like that name a little bit. And his ally is going to be dwarves, Dr. Shart here. And looks like we have a couple of doctors on this team, so a very highly educated team over here on the left-hand side. And their final ally is going to be Randy the Second. So Randy the Second here spawning as dwarves as well. So we have two dwarves on the left-hand side, and dwarves an extremely powerful race in this game. So I'm going to go ahead and feel like this team is set up pretty well here. But let's go ahead and see who they are facing off against. Spawning in the center, I guess center right side is going to be Thanatos. Now I do actually really like this name as well. Thanatos, I believe, is either a god of death or something, a demon of death, something like that. I've played games where there's definitely been a sort of an evil demon called Thanatos, so I do very much like that name there. And spawning to his top side here is going to be Fenris, one of my channel favorites. This is, of course, guys, on the 2.01 patch still. Still going to go ahead and cast a couple more in the 2.01, but we'll be getting out some 2.02, some more from the 2.02 very soon here. So Fenris spawning up in the top right side, I guess. And his ally to the back side here is going to be King of TH. We're just going to call him King for this game, because that seems like a pretty good name to me. And he's, of course, spawning as Angmar. And then finally, their final ally spawning in the lower right-hand side is going to be PAOK G4-G. And for now, we'll just call him G4. And, of course, he is going to be spawning as Mordor. Now, it looks like the battle has already started out here in the center of the map. We do have a couple of dwarves engaging a couple units from Isengard here. Thanatos quickly pushing forward. And it looks like these Uruk-hai are actually going to be able to deal quite a bit of damage. Actually took out entire units of Guardians there, and might actually be able to take out another one. The Crows overhead contributing a large amount of help, actually. But with a third unit of Dwarven Axeros here, it looks like they are going to take out the remainder of those troops. A pretty efficient play there by Thanatos. And he's won himself a little bit of control. Well, I don't want to say he's won himself control, but he's done some significant damage here early on in the game with just a single unit. Now, he does have some crossbowmen out to back this up. An additional unit of Uruk-hai coming out as well. That should be excellent in order to defend the crossbowmen in the front if he can actually decides to do that. Looks like he's actually not going to wait, though. He wants to get these crossbowmen into range immediately, and there isn't really anything that's going to charge him down immediately anyways. So his crossbowmen should actually be pretty safe here until, or at least for now. Now they will begin to work on these dwarves, although the rally call does go down, and there's 3 units of Dwarven Guardians here. These crossbowmen are going to fall very fast, but the Angmar actually comes in from the south side here with a group of Wolf Riders, and suddenly this group of dwarves is looking to be in a little bit of trouble. The Uruk-hai actually not deciding to engage, though, and I don't think that was the right choice. I mean, he's going to go for the in here, and I guess if he gets it, it might be worth it. But he's going to lose all these troops as well, and all of a sudden the battle sort of swinging back into the dwarves' favor here. Angmar coming in with a spell of his own, to make sure that these Uruk-hai have enough time to go ahead and take out that inn, as the Men of Dale production from that inn is going to be incredibly efficient. We actually have the heroic statue being built here in the middle, and suddenly these dwarves and Men of Dale looking to be extremely powerful. More Isengard showing up to the right-hand side. Let's take a look elsewhere around the map. It looks like we have a couple of dwarves moving in on the lower-hand side. Mordor trying to engage them with basically just a bunch of orcs, the orc warriors. And these aren't even really upgraded ones. And now he's actually producing pikemen. Our Mordor player has actually been built his G4 here has actually built all of his barracks on the low ground here, which is a little bit dangerous. Now he does actually have Mouth of Sauron out, which I really like. Mouth of Sauron, a great early hero to go ahead and grab, although he's charging him directly into the pikemen, which is definitely not recommended at this point. And Mouth of Sauron is going to take way too much damage. Yeah, dismounts, but by this point it was too late. And those pikemen just destroyed Mouth of Sauron. So Mordor here looking to be in a lot of trouble. Easterlings are absolutely 1,000% terrible against basically any unit of dwarves, other than like maybe a hero who they can deal like some damage to. But definitely do not recommend getting Easterlings out against dwarves. In the center here, the goblins now pushing in as well. There isn't a battle up top. It looks like neither top player choosing to Fenris nor the goblins choosing to go through the very top side. So it looks like the main battle will be actually taking place here in the center. Now we do have alerts out for Thanatos. He's only level 1 though. Looks like he grabbed a little bit of experience, but as the battle starts to turn to not in his favor, it looks like he's going to fall back. Although really, he should stay in the battle. Looks like he's trying to pick off a couple of dwarfs from up here on the ledge, which is a good strategy, but the battle's almost out of his range now, so he's going to have to come down and begin to engage here. It's hard to tell who's actually, whose troops are winning here. There's so many Isengard troops here from Thanatos and from Fenris. Actually, a lot of these troops are Fenris's as well. And this Lurtz right here is Fenris's as well. Excuse me, not Thanatos's, as I had first assumed. Now we do have a couple of Agmar units coming out here as well. Hwaldir, the hero Hwaldir, out for Agmar as well, and wisely moving him down to take out that cave troll, grab that experience. On the lower hand side, it looks like the dwarves have basically won this battle. I mean, there's a couple of orcs left, but the Prince Bran now, Captain of Dale, is out as well, and he can go ahead and use that slam shot if he so chooses, and he will, grabbing about an entire unit there with a single shot. A very efficient hero, and especially for the price. Prince Bran, I think, one of the, well, there's a lot of best heroes in the game, but I think Prince Bran is one of the best heroes, especially with that slam shot. He's very efficient against any enemy that chooses large groups of units, such as Mordor or Agmar for that matter. Now it looks like Hwaldir will be able to take out this cave troll lair as well. That's going to grab him a little bit of experience, a little bit of money there for Agmar, but really the main battle is still going on here in the center. Neither team has really come out ahead. Fenris and Thanatos both pumping tons of Isengard units here into the center. There's a couple of Agmar units from King down here as well. And I think slowly but surely Isengard is actually pushing farther in. More crossbowmen. Look how many crossbowmen there are here, as they're just dealing tons of damage from afar. And the production just is not here for the dwarves. It looks like, that's what's happening. So the men player actually has not been involved in the battle yet. I don't know if at all. Dr. Penguin here with these horsemen is just now. Looks like actually he was in a small skirmish on the bottom side of the map, maybe with the fire drake here. That was a mistake, though. You do not want to engage that fire drake with those pikemen, as they all get burned to death there. And that's basically 3 to I think pikemen are 400, so that's 400 down the drain. And with losing those extra units down there, they've lost the center now as well, and it is not looking that good for the left-hand side team. I mean, of course, their fortress isn't under siege, and they've got this huge troop of horsemen here, led by, is that Aemir? Yes, it is. But the enemy is now beginning to knock on their front door. They've lost the center battle. This is going to give the right-hand side a chance to go ahead and capture some of this territory. And you can see that's already being done here by Fenris, throwing down a watchtower in the center here to go ahead and try and secure this area, especially now that his forces have pushed forward. You could also actually throw down a couple of mines as well. Looks like he is going to throw down a warg sentry instead to go ahead and protect that watchtower. But of course, that center area is now going to be open to being mined. Now there's a ton of horsemen coming through here. Finally, Dr. Penguin deciding to engage the enemy here in the center. And with all of those, there was no horsemen before, so there was no need for pikemen. And all of a sudden, the Isengard players realize their weakness here, as the horsemen are just trampling these units to death. And with a ton of goblin archers showing up as well, this entire Isengard and Agmar army is killed almost instantly. Hwaldir manages to escape with his life, and a couple of Isengard Uruk-hai here do try and make their way out of here. But this tower, I mean, it's up, but he lost all of his archers, so he actually cannot put any units in there. But it looks like for now the goblins are going to fall back. They don't want to engage that quite yet. Maybe either they're not aware that that tower is not full, or just decide to hold off for now. Either way, it looks like our Dwarven player on the south side finally pushing through. He destroyed, pushed through Mordor so well. Actually destroyed all his buildings down here on the bottom side. Sorry, I missed that, guys. Our Dwarven player here doing an excellent job. Now, Lurtz does use the cripple shot. Decides to use it on Prince Brand. The second Lurtz actually uses it on King Dane. And they now need to go ahead and kill these units as fast as possible. Prince Brand does go down. Now it is time for King Dane to fall as well, but there's Glowin here as well, and Lurtz has turned his attention to him instead. Lurtz is taking a little bit too much damage. The heal goes down. That is the global heal, not the King Dane's heal, as King Dane is only level 2. Once he gets to level 4, though, that Mighty Rage heal becomes incredibly effective. Hwaldir returning as well to try and deal with Glowin. Glowin has a ton of health and actually deals with a pretty efficient amount of damage as well. All his units attacking from behind, and yet Hwaldir is still losing. Decides to go ahead and retreat for now, fall into the cover of his troops. But with this Berserker here, I don't think Glowin is going to last for long. And with a final swing of his blade there, he does indeed go down. Lurtz grabs a couple of levels as well. King Dane still alive. Along the left side of the map, they've been distracted down here with the dwarves, and suddenly the castle here in the center of Thanatos is looking to be in a lot of trouble. He's tried to build a couple of wall hubs here to protect his fortress, but there's so many units here, and he's thrown all of his units down to the south side to try to deal with the dwarves that he's basically defenseless to the north. He finally deals with enough of these units that the dwarves are going to be pushed back, but it might be just too little too late here, as his entire base is basically overrun by goblins right now. We do have a summon going down. I believe that's by our Agmar player. And yes, it was. So our Agmar player does throw down a couple, throws down a summon there to go ahead, the Warriors of Undvad, to go ahead and try and deal with some of these goblins, but there's just so many. And I thought I saw potential fire arrows. Yeah, the Men of Dale here in the back do have fire arrows as well, so this fortress is going to begin to fall extremely rapidly here. A couple of Agmar units trying to make their way around, but it's just not going to be enough. And I think Thanatos' fortress here is doomed to fall. I mean, there's a couple units around the backside here, although these are not friendly units. So in that case, things are definitely not looking good for our right side team here. They had the advantage for a moment there, but all of a sudden it's looking to be just the opposite now. The dwarves proving just way too strong. There's a watchtower here, but it's all the units are basically up the ramp at this point, so it's not actually able to deal enough damage to them. Not to mention there's no archers inside of it, and the fortress does go ahead and fall for Thanatos. Now, does he have a builder still on the field? That remains to be seen. Actually, Wormtongue, they're able to escape temporarily. Mouth of Sauron in the thick of things, taking out goblins left and right. Will go ahead and grab a level there. Could use his weakness ability if he gets a chance to. But these goblins are slowly chasing him down as he tries to break through the horde there. And decides to actually go back in and fight after he just escaped, as he realizes it may be a little too late, and then decides again to say screw it, and you know what, I don't want to fight after all. So he will leave the team. Azog here actually surrounded by pikemen. He's taking a little bit of damage, but I think he's going to be just fine, at least temporarily. Tons of fire archers here, led by Prince Brand, and all of a sudden this is looking extremely not good for our right-hand side team. Our Mordor player basically stuck in the back here. There is still a builder alive for Thanatos, I believe. But it looks like right now he's just going to try and rebuild as the remainder of his teammates here try and hold off this inevitable push from the Dwarven players here. Lurtz does manage to catch Prince Brand off guard out in the front there, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough to actually kill him off. Lurtz actually is right up here next to him now, dealing a lot of damage, and Prince Brand will fall very quickly to that. Not much health, but does deal a significant amount of damage. Of course, speaking about Prince Brand. But basically, these units are just ignoring Lurtz for now, focusing on the buildings, trying to stop the production of these units, and then deal with the units after all their structures are down. The Knights here, led by Amber and Theoden, now up to level 7, giving Theoden actually the glorious charge ability. He actually gets that at level 6, excuse me, but these units can now use that if they so choose. These horsemen dealing a ton of damage, and although the attack came a little late from their ally Dr. Penguin here with the horsemen, this strategy turned out to be incredibly effective, as these Rohirrim have just been dealing a ton, just massive damage, and they've been or terrible damage, I should say, and they've been so efficient. Look, always running back to the hearth here, regenning his units, and just being incredibly efficient with his units. Gothmog now out for Mordor, but is it going to be, or is it a little too late for that almost, with all the other heroes already out on the field and with pretty substantial levels over him? I'll be interested to see if Gothmog can actually, or how much he can do now. Oh boy, Gimli is out now for the dwarves as well. Dr. Shart here pushing forward for what looks to be a kill on both the Mordor player and the Isengard player, as it looks like the Isengard are, Thanatos does have a building over here. I'm not sure if it's the last one or not, but these dwarves just deal so much damage. I don't think there's anything that our Mordor player can do to stop them. Wormtongue is a good choice. He can deal a significant amount of damage to one of the enemy heroes, but it's just not going to be enough to take out 3, fully angered and not necessarily fully leveled, but close enough, high enough levels where they're going to be dealing a significant amount of damage. And yeah, this is exactly what I was afraid of. Glóin is just going to basically feed the fires there, giving Gimli a level rather than actually dealing enough damage to stop him. Still a valiant try. The heal goes down though, anyways, from King Dane there, and these heroes are looking to be completely unstoppable. Meanwhile, in the center, Glorious Charge is activated. The Rohirrim have entered the battle and begin to pummel away any of the remaining troops here along the right-hand side. The Goblin player, Tun here, moving in as well. Upgraded Goblin warriors here, as they do have both the scavenged armor as well as the forged blades. Not something you see, or not something we've seen in my game or in my cast very often, is players actually going for those upgrades, especially for these lower tier units such as the Goblin warriors. But it looks like Tun here doing it actually to great avail. These goblins deal a ton of damage. Look how quickly these archers fall when they actually swing. Azog in here as well, up to level 4, up now level 5 as well. King Dane out as well now for Randy the Second. And suddenly this dwarven army is looking to be just as scary as this other one. Looks like the fortress on the right did fall here. The remaining Rohirrim here cleaning up alerts, and with that, King will go ahead and surrender, throws in the towel. Looks like his fortress will go ahead and go to Thanatos at this point, but I think his GG out is probably the right move at this point, as this game is basically over, as the left side has gone ahead and completely taken out, two complete bases, really. Thanatos now actually pumping out Saruman here just for a little bit of fun here in the end, but Fenris is going to lose his warg, what's that called? I don't know, the place that makes wargs, guys, okay? I forgot the name of it. Warg Lair, maybe? I forget. I don't play Isengard very much, as it's not one of my favorite races by any means, but it looks like the right-hand side team here is going to go ahead and lose the map. The victors today are going to be Randy the Second, Ton, Dr. Penguin, and Dr. Shart, as they will go ahead and claim the victory here in this game. Guys, thanks so much for watching and tuning in. I will go ahead and finish this out until these players actually go ahead and surrender or leave the game or whatever. But thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and thank you very much, everybody, for going over to my friend's channel and telling her a good job and leaving a comment there. That was really nice of you guys to go ahead and help me out with that. And of course, your repayment is sweet in the form of cash, as I will be doing, obviously this one, as I've already done it now, and many more hopefully to come here. If you guys haven't, been over to that video, I will provide a link in the description down below. If you go ahead and move over there, we've already got like 26 or so comments, I think, from my subscribers that actually went over there and left her a comment. So I really do appreciate that, guys. And I hope you guys appreciate me holding up my end of the deal as well, getting out some more cash for you guys, and bringing those to you quickly, and hopefully with more on the way here. Probably my next cast is going to be on the 2.02 patch. Going to take a look back at that. Remember, guys, if you have any replays that you'd like to send in, feel free to do that. I do have a specific email address for that now, which is, of course, mastercloudreplays@gmail.com. If you would like to send in a replay to be casted, alerts here hiding in the corner, and they had in, and about 10,000 were here and are like, hey, what are you doing over here? Lurtz actually grabs a level, but I think it's too little too late here, as he is going to get murder balled in the corner, as this is not a fair fight. And yes, run through the entire Rohirrim army. Yeah, no. So Lurtz does fall there, and with that, well, I would say any hope, but I mean the hope, there was already no hope at this point, as there's now 3 fire drakes out for the Goblin player as well. This building is all but destroyed here. So yes, guys, if you do have replays that you would like me to cast, go ahead and send them in to mastercloudreplays@gmail.com. I'll provide that in writing, in the description too, if you're not sure how to spell it. But it's just my name and then replays and then at gmail.org or gmail.com. Excuse me, not org. Don't send it to gmail.org. That doesn't even exist, to my knowledge. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Really appreciate it. And I guess we'll just go ahead and finish up this cast here as the remainder of these buildings go ahead and collapse here, signaling the end of this game. Thanatos has been defeated. Looks like Fenris is going to be remaining here, holding off in the upper corner here almost, or the lower, not the upper corner, it'd be the lower corner, I suppose. But we'll go ahead and speed this up here until they go ahead and find him. But you can see the army slowly moving around the minimap, searching for any remaining buildings here. But the final stand is going to hopefully eventually take place here. He actually doesn't have enough money, I don't think, to actually build up a strong base here. And it looks like G4 has gone ahead and left the game as well, so only Fenris remains here. And now he has been spotted by the dwarves, and we will watch this glorious final battle here. The rock drops come down, taking out basically his entire army at this point. The remaining dwarves show up. You can just look at the stream of units. All the goblins like turn their eyes. It's kind of like I don't know, like when you're tiptoeing through a horde of lions that are all asleep, and then you step on that one twig and they all wake up and stare at you. Sorry guys, I've been watching too much Emperor's New Groove. Anyways, Venice is going to try and attempt to hold out here as long as possible, but the inevitable cannot be stopped. Death is upon him in this game at least. And the goblins here slowly whacking away. Actually, look how much damage these goblins actually do to this wall hub. Normally you wouldn't see wall hubs fall this fast. Well, I shouldn't say normally, but anyways, I think these goblins with these upgraded blades deal just a ridiculous amount of damage there. It looks like this is going to actually be the final building here. But thanks for tuning in, everybody, and I shall see you guys all next time. Keep up all the friendly words and good comments, and I will see you guys next time. Master Cloud signing out.